Hi everyone, it's Angie. I'm here with Solange Swafford, and Solange is a licensed social worker here in Charleston. And we met through my blog, how I've met so many amazing people. And we started this conversation, and we really felt like we had sort of met a kindred spirit. And we have been talking lately about the concept of living our lives from a place of being, with less emphasis on doing, living from a place of being. Now, I get it, but there's a part of me that struggles with this idea. And I'm sure you feel the same way, and people watching this. I have a lot of stuff to do, and it's so hard to stay in this place and live from this place of authenticity and being centered all the time. It's just very easy to just get very focused on I have all this stuff to do and not enough time to do it. And so let's just start by explaining to people, like, what does it even mean
Right.
to live
Right.
from a place of being? What does that mean?
Right. Yeah, so all of us have a lot to do and can get easily overwhelmed with the to-dos, and there will always be more to-dos. Those never end. Coming from a place of being means incorporating how you do those things. And a lot of that can take awareness and presence in terms of asking the hard questions of why am I doing this? Is this something that is necessary? Am I making something that's difficult even harder based on how I'm doing it? I came to sort of think about this concept about a year ago when, ironically, I was crushing all my to-dos. I mean, I felt like I was there. I was checking the to-dos off the list. I had a great job that I had always wanted. I had reached my workout goals, my physical activity goals, and really had accomplished a lot of the things that I had set out to do. But I still had that pit in my stomach of something's missing.
Wow.
Something is. I still felt rushed. I still felt anxious. I still felt stressed.
That is so interesting that you say that because, so you're classic, you're type A, you're crushing it. At the end of every day, I feel so frustrated because even when I try to be very realistic about my to-dos and even when I prioritize, I run out of time. And it's so frustrating. And I keep thinking, I will feel so much better if this to-do list was just done. And you're saying it doesn't feel better.
No. You get there and
Why?
you still have that feeling.
Wow.
And that's when I really started asking some hard questions of what is the point of all this? Why am I doing these things if they aren't getting me to a place of being and presence that I thought that it would be? So I actually started just experimenting with thinking about some of my to-dos and some of just the everyday activities that I had done, and started thinking about, well, maybe instead of adding more to-dos to feel better and to get that pit in my stomach to go away, maybe I should experiment with eliminating some of the things in my life that feel like junk food. We spend so much time talking about clean eating and putting the right nutrients in our body and getting our bodies physically fit, looks-wise and health-wise to live longer. But what about clean thinking? What are the things that we do just on autopilot that's junk food for our mind, for our soul? And so I started going down this path of, okay, let's try just experimenting. Let's eliminate the nightly glass of wine. Let's go on a media fast in terms of just a temporary cleansing, so to speak, of the things we get bombarded with through reading and social media, etc. And I found such space, such clarity. And it wasn't about adding more to my to-do list. It was actually eliminating some things.
So this is sort of a two-part thing. So I realized that my word for the year is ease. So I have been craving space in my physical space and in my life for a long time. Like when I even imagine having margin around everything I do, I automatically just almost feel this exhale. But my personal goals and things that, not just to-do lists, like
Right.
errands, things I want to do for myself and with my life, they feel so vast and
Yes.
and it requires work.
Yes.
So how does this living from a place of being and creating space, how do you balance it with your aspirations? Are your aspirations good or bad?
That's the question. That's the question I was asking myself. And
What'd
so
you come
around
up
this
with?
time, it's just ironically, I was reading, I think through creating this space in my life, I was able to create more clarity. And I just happened to read an article after I had stopped the media fast, but I had done that sort of cleansing, not even realizing what that journey was going to bring me, what that clearing was going to bring me. And I was reading an article by Gabby Bernstein about meditation.
Okay.
And her article hit me. It hit me at the right time. I was really fascinated with what she had to say, and I wanted more. When you hear about something and you want to know more. So I started researching her and different types of meditation and just started going down that rabbit hole in terms of, wow, what are people doing? What is this meditation thing? And what's the usefulness of that? And how what she was saying, I wanted more of that. I mean, she was talking about presence, ease, a sense of calm.
What have been the greatest benefits for you, just trying to make this be a daily practice?
So there's so many.
Wow.
And it starts off so subtly. So I think that's, ironically, I'm still to doing, but my focus is different. It's, my focus is awareness and being present and mindfulness. I think the things that I see that are most profound is I don't wake up with that, very rarely do I wake up with that pit in my stomach anymore.
Like, oh, I've got to get going, or I've got so much to do, or wow.
I have more faith in life and in myself. And nothing has changed in terms of my to-do list. I mean, I still have all these external things, my relationships, work, everything is still on the outside, but I feel different on my patience. I just think about in terms of with my family, when there's stress and struggles, I feel like internally I can just handle it so much better.
I'm sure my children would appreciate that if I brought a little more patience into. So tell me, people at home, what are some things, because this is not something we can't overhaul our entire life in a day. So what do we need to do? What are some things we can do to begin to bring that sense of being into our lives right now?
There's some really quick, easy things that if you make them part of your daily practice, your daily habit, can be really, at first subtly, but through practice, transformational. One very simple example is at a stoplight. Instead of looking down at your phone or messing with the radio, to really be conscious of your breath and breathing in for 5, holding for 5, and breathing out for 5, and really listening to our bodies tell us what we need before we even know it. I do this very simple exercise in the morning where before I even open my eyes, I'll tap my heart or put my hand on my heart and ask my heart for what do I need today? Give me a word. And that can sound very esoteric, like very funky or out there, but it's not. It's amazing.
Since you told me about this, I've tried it a few mornings, and it is sort of strange because I catch myself almost feeling pressure. It's like,
Yes.
think of the word, think of the word. But when you just let that go, a word does come up. And some of my words have been just love, serve. One day it was just focus. But it's just, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let that, that's just what apparently I need at this moment.
Yes. And carrying that word throughout your day, because it's a journey. This is a lifelong journey of forgetting and getting frazzled and getting caught up and getting distracted, and then remembering and coming back to being. And being just means literally maybe just tapping of the heart. What's my word again? What is it? And getting back to that can just be a simple shift that, if practiced enough, can have a transformational shift in your being, in your body, and how you live your life and how you approach your to-dos. I think I spend much more time being connected with what feels good, and we have so many responsibilities, but we also have choices on how we tackle things and how we go about doing things.
All right. Thank you so much, Solange, that we could talk about this all day,
Yeah,
but we won't because we have a lot of things to do. But also there are so many resources and things, so I'll work with you to gather those and have those at the bottom of the post just to kind of help people sort of learn more about this and bring this more into their lives. And we'd love to know what you think. Are you a slave to your to-do list? Do you just feel overwhelmed by all of your responsibilities? But do you crave what we're talking about here? I know I personally do, and but it's a daily practice,
Yes.
So thank you so much for your time, and thanks for watching. Let us know what you think.